All right, so we're looking at that 2-point perspective again. Again, we've got our horizon line. You've got your orthogonals, which connect to your 2 vanishing points. So you've got those 3 terms. Those should be completely in your memory by now. So on the letter M in 2-point perspective, you're going to see some vertical lines that will stay, and some vertical lines that are just ghosted there for a little bit of time until we get close to finishing. There's a lot of in-between lines. That's why I saved the M for today after you had a full day of experience with 2-point perspective. So you've got, again, 1, 2, 3, and finished. So you're going to want to go ahead and begin on your way. As usual, you're going to put in your horizon line. Notice the horizon line is about halfway. Let me move this page up. Horizon line's about halfway. Make sure it's nice and level. The more level you have it, the more believable your structure is. And on this one, again, our vanishing points are on opposite sides of that horizon line. Couple of things, don't forget, vanishing points are always on the horizon line. Always. There's no other exception to that. But they do not always have to be over here. There can be a vanishing point that's actually off the paper. And that happens sometimes when you have a deeper perspective. But for our case and for our sake, all of our vanishing points will be on the paper and, of course, on the horizon line, okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead. Notice if we looked at that top illustration, about a quarter of the way over, you've got a nice vertical line. It does not go all the way from top to bottom, but it goes right through, as in that, okay? Right through a horizon line. That's going to be the first corner of our M. That's that front corner, okay? So from there, you're going to actually start off with connecting. So you're going to see kind of like a kite. You're going to want to connect the top and the bottom to the left and the right vanishing point. And again, you're going to get that kite shape. Make sure you double check before dropping in those lines. Want to make sure that they all connect. What you cannot see on camera or from where you're sitting is my eyes going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, darting between the two just to make sure they're nice and even before I put the line. So that's your first step. That's box number 1. This is your basics to get started. Notice the only vertical line that goes in is this front corner, and there's a specific reason for that, okay? I'm going to pause, give you a second to finish. This one should be rather quick. All right, so I'm going to keep moving because it looks like some of you are already working. Okay, so to get started again, we're going to put in our verticals for the other sides of the letter M. We're going to, again, find that vertical we started off with, and we're going to move this, slide it straight over to the left. This is going to give the sort of the thickness to the letter M. You're going to want to make sure it's a nice vertical line, that it's nice and straight up and down, okay? And then we're going to move over this way. Now, again, realize if we look back at this little sketch, realize that we just created this right here. This has got to be deeper. This is going to be at least twice, sometimes a little over 2 to 3 times as wide as this one. So you want to make sure that you don't make a super skinny letter M, unless, again, later on that's what you're aiming for. You like that particular style. So again, find that vertical, slide it over, and then you're going to go ahead and drop in the vertical. And again, the reason why we put it in now is they only go from orthogonal to orthogonal. That's as far as they go. So you kind of split up your kite into 4 pieces, if you will. So we've got all 4 of those pieces in. Now we have a lot of planning to do. The planning that we need, these lines are going to stay. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them in black, so you can kind of see them a little bit better. The black lines are lines that will stay, lines that will remain. Okay, guys, I'm hearing some kind of radio. If we can make sure we turn that off. All right, So with that, we now have to plan on where the center parts of our M are going, okay? We've got our center parts. Gino? Gino, you with us? Yeah. Pop them off, please. This is the last request, and I will have to take them. I don't want to hear it at all. Take them out. All right, next time they're gone. We need to drop in the sides to this M. So we're going to drop in 2 vertical lines, but really, really light on these because the whole vertical line is not staying, okay? So we're going to go ahead, we're going to drop in this one. We're going to leave a space in between, and then we're going to go ahead and drop in the other side. So I'm going to put this one in here. Again, nice and light. You can see it's got a little bit bigger of a space right in the center. Just a little bit bigger. Again, not super important if it's about even in thirds, but we're good. We're good. It's just a little bit more in the middle. All right. So at this stage, we've got a few things that we're going to be adding in. So we're going to add in a couple of V's. And the V is going to give us the middle of this M. It's going to drop all the way down to the horizon line. Here's the middle. If we're looking at the distance here, I'm going to find the middle and just drop it over to the right of the middle a little bit. Okay? So we're going to pull in this guy. And then we're going to pull in this guy. Okay? And now the second one, the lines are going to match. So I've got this line here. I'm going to slide this down. I want that same angle. That's really important. If you haven't looked, please look right now. If you start your ruler here, you're going to keep that same exact angle. And you're going to go pretty much until your ruler hits right here. You're going to pull this here. You have to visualize right about where that's going to drop down, right there. And then you're going to do the same on the opposite side. It's going to match this angle. You're going to find that it's going to hit both your corner here as well as where it meets up down here. Okay? So those are our lines for the M. And if you have drawn light enough, right now you can actually erase that so you don't get confused. You can actually remove that and get rid of it. Okay? So with that, we've got a few more lines to connect to give it its proper depth. And those lines are actually really, really important. The lines that are coming back from in this space, in this particular space, inside of that letter M, are actually vanishing towards over here, okay? So if you can take a look, I'm going to put the vanishing points for there in orange. So these are anything that shrinks back to the orange vanishing point, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to connect this bottom corner, and you're going to see that this is going to go right up to that letter M, and it's going to stop. You're going to go from this bottom corner to the vanishing point. It's going to go from here to the corner, and it's going to hit right there and stop. Hopefully you can see that those are the things that are actually going all the way to the vanishing point. I'll even put that ruler there. You can kind of see that. Those are all going towards that vanishing point. Okay, so you've got those 2 lines that have to go in, really important. And then you've got only one more to put in from the top. And that guy is located right here. The top right-hand side of the M. You're going to connect it to its vanishing point, making sure they're nice and even. And you're going to drop that in right over there. Okay? soon as we start to firm up this letter, as soon as we start to sketch out what's remaining and erase what's not, you're going to really see it starting to pop, okay? So as of this point, everything inside of there is drawn to my left vanishing point. Now it's pretty much home free from there. I need to just study it. I need to say, hey, what's going to stay? What's going to be erased? I'm going to need this because that's part of the letter M. That's that left-hand side. I connect top to bottom. Okay? I'm going to need the bottom portion, but I have to have some control over it. It's going to go from here and stop, here and stop. I don't want that center portion in here. That's all. The second you trace it with marker, you're going to be frustrated. So make sure you're really careful about that. You don't want to cause frustration. I need the inner workings of this letter M. I'm going to go ahead and drop those in. Those are all staying. My orange lines are staying, but those are outlined in orange just so that you see which area it goes off into. Okay? Again, over here, I'm not going to trace it all the way. Just from that little crook down. Then I'm going to come up here. I'm going to trace just the top parts. One's there, and one's there. And then I'm going to go ahead and trace, again, the inner workings of that M, the little kind of V shapes. One there, and one there. Again, temptation is you've got a ruler. Temptation is to keep drawing, so be very, very careful that you do not keep drawing. So that is your letter M done in 2-point perspective, of which is really important because at 2-point perspective is where we're heading with this next set of letterings, not just one letter. Hello. Thank you. Aya, you have mail? There you go. Okay. Yes. It's only because, very good question. It's only like that on yours because of the depth of your M. Do you mind if I hold yours for a second? Just show it really quick. There's no more up there. All right, and I do want to show this really quick. Let me stop the video.